Hello, good evening everyone. Thank you for coming online. I would like to introduce the speaker of today's webinar, Mr. Nilesh Desai, founder and CEO of SME Analytics. He is an SME expert and is the author of the book, The Unexplored Gold Mine, The Opportunities in the Revival of Sick MSMEs. Mr. Desai has widespread knowledge in MSMEs and he is working towards increasing the operational efficiency of the MSMEs unit. He is fond of writing daily newsletter to spread awareness about the MSMEs world. Mr. Desai has a vast experience in the engineering industry. He is a member in various committees and represents the interest of MSMEs. He has traveled extensively and has business association in Australia. In the month of March, we had a seminar in Balavikas Kendra where Mr. UK Deputy High Commissioner Dr. Andrew Fleming visited our stall and he has appreciated Mr. Desai sir for his book and he has encouraged him a lot. I request Mr. Desai sir to continue the webinar, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Day was today on 30th June. 30th June, our beloved Prime Minister has started a new initiative known as Udyami Bharat. Now, if we have to reach to his vision, all our MSMEs has to work hard and fast. So today's topic is importance of soft skill and hard skill. Earlier one. Hard skills of workers in MSMEs. So let us start the discussion. Let me brief you workforce situation in India. Let us start with workforce situation in India in MSMEs. India has got 6.35 crore MSME, growing at 10 to 15% year on year. If employees at 11 to 12, it employs 11 to 12 crore people, but still MSMEs face challenges of shortage of workers. This is because of disturbed market, technology trends, etc. There are various reasons. Because of COVID in 2020, workforce shortage has become acute when the labor force returned to their hometown. This non-linear change is still affecting a wide range of MSMEs. Still, there is a very big shortage of workers at ground level. At some time, MSMEs are attempting to digitize so that they can make use of latest advances in technologies to grow. Here also, they struggle to find right talent at the right time. See, about 15-20 years back, CNC machines has come in machining for machining and improving the quality. That at that time, our academia were little behind, and they could not provide the skilled workers required for operating CNC machines at that time. Now that is little getting mitigated because CITD and many other education institutions are giving courses on that. Employment rate in our country, unemployment rate in our country is 8.32%, and 460 million Indians were part of workforce. This 468 million is the agriculture, service and industry put together, and 92% of them were in informal sector in August 2018. Today, it is down to 80%. This suggests that greater workforce informality leads to lower incentive to acquire new skills. See, today our engineers, our software employees, they are all upgrading their skills, but that similar incentives are not available to our welders, our fitters, our electrician, our carpenters, our plumbers, that is not available because there is an acute shortage of that kind of skills, that kind of workforce at the ground reality. Business often choose to replace labor with machinery as inadequately skilled workers are a bane to the company. So businesses, they try to modernize or acquire new machines so that they can reduce the manpower consumption. About on 16th of this month, we had a meeting with ex-finance secretary of India, and in his book, he is very clearly saying that we are heading towards jobless growth. And this phenomena is existing much before last 5-7 years. Our corporate sectors are not employing they are not creating more jobs because they are able to spend larger amount on updating their machinery and things like that. But MSME are finding difficulty to acquire new technology because of capital cost and etc. Today, Tamil Nadu has signed a semiconductor manufacturing plant of worth of 25,000 crores, but they are likely to create only 1,500 jobs. So per one job is getting created at 1.75 crore investment, while our MSMEs can do creation of one job at 50 to 70,000 rupees. That is the effectiveness of MSME. This will lead to jobless growth and will increase skill gaps. The skill gap means what I am trying to tell is the available people in the market for the similar kind of job. And our e-commerce sites also, like Amazon or Flipkart, has increased, or Oyo or Ola and Uber, they have created an acute shortage of drivers. They have increased the salaries like nobody's baby, and that is again increasing the attrition rate from MSME sector. We have no dearth of workers, but they are not skilled enough for the job at hand. That is why unemployment is growing. Now, technology and digital solution. Technology is a great leveler. If SMEs invest in right digital channels and tools, they will enhance their operations and increase profits. SaaS, that is software as a service, products are easy to use and not require specialized skill set, and they are on a revenue expenditure and not a capital expenditure. So many MSMEs are adopting this SaaS product for that optimizing their day-to-day operations wherever it is possible. This chart is giving the digital strategy for MSME to be adopted for digital marketing. This is for only digital marketing. Like that, many other technologies also are available. Zoho has come out with many technologies which can be adopted by MSMEs, and they can reduce the cost of operations. Next, please. This is again a big area, training and partnership. It is very important for MSME to invest in training existing employees, as technology advancement will continue across all aspects of business operations, and companies run risk of falling behind in growth. What does it mean? If we do not upgrade our existing workers and staff, we are going to reduce down our growth rate with other competitor or peers. So it is becoming a necessity for MSME unit or SME units to continuously retrain their people as the opportunity comes. Sourcing talent and acquiring better machinery for optimizing time, resource, and money is an effective way to propel the growth of MSME industries. Depending on the um, depending on the product what you are manufacturing, sourcing talent, acquiring better machinery for optimizing time, resource, and money is an effective way to propel the growth of MSME units. So training and learning and development is a continuous process, and MSME should adopt as fast as possible. Next, please. Reskilling and upskilling of the workforce is one of the crucial ways to address skill gap. So all software companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, they are continuously investing heavy amount on training their existing resources by reskilling and upskilling, because cloud computing, quantum computing, blockchain, all those kind of technologies are the in a big way, artificial intelligence, machine learning, AR, VR, all that are required in a large this thing, so that they are trying to upgrade their existing resources. Similar efforts are to be required to be put by MSME so that they can keep up their pace of growth. There are many schemes by government which can be used for this purpose for MSMEs. There are many schemes. You can go to government websites and find out what is suitable to you. Another point is, rather than focusing on overall learning, it is necessary that workforce focus on demand-driven skills development. What does it mean? It is not necessary for them to invest, say, very large amount for overall individual workers' capabilities. They can concentrate the high potential worker to get training in CNC or how to use sensors or IoT or IIoT. That will help them keep the growth curve going up. Online job, on-the-job training by entrepreneur supervisor will boost productivity of the employees and help in building their morale. So once in a while, entrepreneur and supervisor should organize those workers, spend 5-10 minutes, understand their problem, understand these things that training needs, and take action which will give extraordinary result for MSME unit, and it will also increase the morale of the existing people. This sort of constant learning will make employees consistent in their approach to reskilling, new skill, upskilling. This is a continuous graph, like the arrow what is shown here. Next, please. How improving operational efficiency of Indian MSME will increase the job. Yesterday, that I already said, yesterday Prime Minister announced Udyami Bharat. Many initiatives on increasing export worthiness of MSME. Present India has created low-skilled jobs for contributing to GDP by way of consumption, taxes, and reducing sickness and weakness in MSME. By reducing sickness and weakness in MSME, you are not only stabilizing the job market, you are also stabilizing the revenues for yourself and government also. By understanding various ratios from their balance sheet and profit and loss, at 52 out of which 20 to 25 are in operation, and optimizing resource allocation toward these, we have developed a free tool known as Babaji. Business analytics, business documentation, growth information system will help them to increase productivity. Once any entrepreneur compares his 3 years balance sheet, and at each ratio like liquidity, profitability, solvency, all that ratio, each ratio will indicate why such drastic differences has come. And that will, once he starts asking why, then he will be able to understand the possible solutions and take corrective action. And any increase in efficiency will require more and more low skill manpower. उठाने के लिए, पटकने के लिए, बाहर लेके जाने के लिए, tracking के लिए, all that will increase. That will increase India's GDP considerably. Next, please. Measuring changes in hard skill and soft skill of workers every quarter will help to build better teams, quality improvement, innovation, and reduce production gaps. Toward this, we have developed Impulse. This is a new service which we have just introduced, known as Impulse, where we will come 4 times in a year to your factory and find out the changes which has happened in your workers, which will give a referral plus help you to make better teams. Digital transformation. Many MSMEs have started adopting digital technology, and entrepreneurs have started realizing to automate certain repetitive jobs, thus to reduce costs. While adopting digital transformation, entrepreneurs should take his team in confidence and their adoption capacity. This should be a continuous process. Here, most of the MSME units may require external consultant who can be there with them for 1 or 2 or 3 years, so that this adoption of digital transformation is sticked and it helps in the growth. Next, please. Now we are coming to the overall. I have given the picture what is our labor market and why it is required, how to create more jobs. Now the question we are now going to, it is what is the hard skill, definition of hard skill. Hard skill are a part of the skill sets required for a job. They include technical skills required to accomplish specific tasks and expertise necessary for an individual to successfully do a job. Hard skills are required through formal education, acquired through formal education and training program, including college, apprenticeship, short-term training classes, online courses, as well as on-job training. See, hard skills, you can see, they can be acquired by formal education and various things. The job also we can learn. See, the hard skill now, our girls are generally supposed to cook well, and they acquire this hard skill from their mothers very easily, and then they keep upgrading their skill. When they meet somebody, they ask recipes and all that. Is the simplest example of learning and growing. Next. Now, important question is, what is soft skill? Hard skill, generally, when we take any employee, any worker in our factory, we select on the basis of hard skill. But a soft skill is a personal attribute that supports situational awareness and enhances an individual's ability to get a job done. Many times it is synonym for the people skills or emotional intelligence. The hard skill is also known as, many times it is synonym with people skill or emotional intelligence. I'm listing out certain soft skills which we use to measure workers' capabilities. Emotional intelligence, leadership, analytical and qualitative skills. Next, please. Curiosity and learning desire, contextualizing the big picture, a positive attitude, problem-solving skill and creativity, teamwork, performance under pressure, communication. These are few but very prominent and soft skill which is required in any individual. Next, please. Why soft skill becomes critical? This is very critical question. Any human, including workforce, will have all these in different proportion. I have listed 10 and many more may be there. And many MSMEs will have workforce above 500 or 1,000 workers. and that productivity will be depending on all above factors at different stages of their growth. While selecting workforce during this crisis period, many MSMEs select a worker on hard skill, and during that worker working with others on the shop floor, if he locates any lack of above entrepreneur or supervisor will find very difficult to manage. See, his skills may be very good on hard skill, operating machine, but he does not communicate properly to his co-worker or helper or superior. And then that creates a gap in information of the production processes. And this becomes very critical, and entrepreneur or a supervisor will find very difficult to replace him as the time passes. And then he is sandwiched, that is supervisor or entrepreneur sandwich, and many times try to pursue particular worker who has been selected wrongly to amend. But this is the time consuming process, and overall atmosphere on the shop floor may become unbearable. Next, please. Now, important question. Items which can be measured can be improved, as Peter Drucker, management guru, has said. So, can we measure soft skill? This is a very critical question. It is difficult to measure soft skill, and still our behavioral scientists, and they have come out with 3 possible methods which are mentioned here as evolved, but accuracy of this will depend largely on interpretation by interviewer. And if group of interviewers are there, everybody may interpret differently. Suppose for one particular candidate, when we want to select, 3 people are interviewing, 3 may come out with a different interpretation as per the body language, same subject, same everything, but they can have these 3 interviewers may not be able to come to a single conclusion. So these are the 3 methods: self-guided inbox stimulation demo, behavioral interview. Behavioral interviews are very long and tedious, but they are more accurate. But whether MSME can afford, I doubt. Stimulation for measuring soft skill also is one third this thing. So that also can be used, but these are little costly. There are standard sets of questions or standard set of formulas developed all over world, but we will have to check what kind of resources we have to take and why we need. All that will come to for selecting the entrepreneur as a worker. Now I will go for a case study. I am happy to inform that we have named these as EMPULSE, Employees Pulse. We have started with 1 unit. The first quarter report and following points have come out. No employee data. EMPULSE का spelling गलत है. Workers are not aware of company's goal. Next. Employee skills, both hard and soft, are not known to supervisor entrepreneurs. When our HR CEO or HR head has gone there and is interacted with about 23 workers, and he found that all these are not existing, though the entrepreneur is very old. I will come back to this thing. Awareness of existing skill gap analysis does not exist. That is why no plan for skill improvement. When you can, if you know this is the skill set, you can build on that. But there is no measurement. So this has all come out 4 things, and this is a referral thing. So first time we have taken now, after a quarter when we will go, there will be a data available to find out the change, and which made an entrepreneur with about 40 years experience to rethink many of his own thinking. And we expect that when we go in second quarter, he will have a reference data, and we expect that he will reduce his wage bill by at least 5%. That is approximately 2.5 lakhs. by increasing productivity per worker. So this is the benefit, this is the minimum benefit he is going to get. And this is visible in his net profit. But the gaps which he can find out, and for probably if we invest in training, the productivity per worker may go up to 10-12% also, or he will be able to adopt somewhere some sort of a technology wherever possible that will be see, internal movement of material. There are many things which can come out, and these 23-25 workers are human dynamos of ideas. And once you encourage them, they may come out with a small ideas which can, each small idea implemented will reduce cost of production per ton. It should not be measured in 10 paisa per ton or 1 rupee per ton. It has to come in an attitude. And the same thing happened in 1950s or 35 to 40s when Japan was bombarded by nuclear bomb, and the national spirit was high. And then at that time, I remember even we used to import safety pin from Japan, and our ladies were very happy because Japan was synonymous for quality product at that time. So this is a case study what we have come across, and we have got already signed up 2, and probably next month we will have about 15 or 20 people where we can substantiate the data analytics by various technological tools. Next, please. So let me come to conclusion. Conclusions. Units productivity depends not only on hard skill of their workforce, but also on soft skill, and with training as in hard skill, soft skill also can be cultivated in workforce. See, hard skill, we can send them to for some training, to some training courses or institute, maybe 1-day training or 3 months training in the evening. The hard skill can be improved and it can be measured much faster. But soft skill can be cultivated, and if somebody asks me, if it's my experience, I will say soft skill gives a better training on soft skill will give a better result than hard skill. But it is relative to the production, what is happening in the unit. Many times MSME entrepreneurs feel that investing in training is not worth because of attrition. But return on investment on training will be very high, and any MSME who have got 20 and above workers can benefit by impulse. This is our new service which will be called is an employees pulse, sort of that. Next, please. So this is the services what SME Analytics gives. Babaji's earlier also have explained. Our idea is to develop Z score, which will reduce the growth of NPA in MSME sector. Also, it will stabilize the workforce employed in units, because the unit does not fall, become sick or weak. We also give mentoring and advice service to startup and MSME unit. Ours is a premium model. So Babaji is a free model, and it can be used by anybody. Your data will not come to us. It will be your data for balance sheet will be yours only. When you come for interpreting the data, we will be able to help you to guide further. Next, please. This is our impulse, where the benefits will be better timber, improve quality, innovation, reduce absenteeism, reduce product attrition. Also, it will improve interpersonal relation between workers. which is very critical nowadays. Next, please. I'm happy to share that we have been awarded as one of the 10 hottest startup in Hyderabad in this December. And this is because of efforts what we have put as a social fintech startup. And all our services, Babaji is free, Impulse is charged in such a way that every rupee you spend, you get 10 times better return from that. That means we are not money minded. Next. Recently, we have been selected by Microsoft for their founders program, and this when Babaji will be put on cloud, and this will help many people to store their data in their system picture. Next. I am also a permanent resident of Australia and also citizen of India. I am ready to offer my service as a director for Australian companies who want to expand in India. I am already a director in one Australian company here. Similarly, I am ready to offer my services for Indian companies to expand in Australia. I have got a business association there and I regularly travel to Australia. Next. My next webinar is on FOF versus FOMO. So this is a very particular phenomena for many entrepreneurs is fear of failure versus fear of missing out. See, a lot of technologies are getting developed and many people who may have competency, they may not take it. That is fear of missing out. And first part is fear of failure. If I try and fail, society will laugh at me. So this is a very critical topic for our MSME entrepreneurs. They are in about 6.35 crore. And they have to always balance between FOF and FOMO. So that will be very interesting subject on 9/7, evening 4 o'clock. I'll be talking about that. Next, please. On 8th July, we are holding a full day seminar at St. Mary's Pharmacy College in auditorium in Secunderabad on Bankable Business Summit. See, today, many of our aspirant entrepreneurs, this is more suitable for aspirant entrepreneurs or existing entrepreneurs who would like to expand. And suppose when you use, I am also one of the speakers, when you use our SMEA, and you will get 20% discount and you will get lot of material, many speakers are lined up, which will give you lot of information at your fingertip and you can discuss there. You are expecting about 500 young entrepreneurs to come and they will be getting benefited. One lecture, there is a series of topics: digital transformation, export worthiness, 100 ideas for below 10 lakhs startup, 30 export worthy ideas. All that is going to be there with lunch and break, this tea and coffee, everything. So please participate in large number on 8 July 2022. It will start at 9 o'clock and go up to 5 o'clock. Next, please. I request everybody to subscribe to my YouTube channel and promote whatever videos I have given for last 3 years. I am talking on various subjects connected with MSME, including good speakers for export we have brought, and insolvency practices we have brought. And many speakers have come. All that recordings are available. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Next, please. These are, thank you. These are my all what you call These are all my coordinates for various social media. You can use them for this thing. Next, please. Now floor is open for question answer. Gayatri, you can start asking questions. That it seems there are 25 questions.
Thank you, sir. The first question is from Shiv Prasad. I train and somebody will get benefit. Question is, I train and somebody will get benefit by coaching by my employees. Always fear factor for employer. How we have to address?
No, please come again with the question. Echo of that. Be fast.
I train and somebody will get benefit by coaching.
I train.
I train this. I train and somebody will get benefit by coaching by my employees. Always fear factor for employer. How we have to address?
So, Sipraraji, there are many methods, but this is unavoidable. Like in Gita, every human body was taken birth has to die. So the labor force also are going to be taken away by somebody. But we have to work on the timing, and we have to see that what kind of retention technology, retention methods we can use. See, trade, if you see, suppose if you got 30 workers, how many people are going to leave? 2, 3, 4 at a time? Remaining 26 can give you a better productivity if you train them. So don't be afraid. Yes, in my own personal case, I had 25 workers, and in the night when I went, next day morning they all disappeared because somebody has taken all 26. This kind of situation also arises, but that is very rare. And for that rare, we should not stop training, because training may cost you 10,000 rupees a month or 20,000 rupees per month, but benefit is imbibed, and that forms a part of your culture. Culture today is a very big asset, and culture cannot be built in a day. So culture has to be built over a span of time. And ultimately, we are all dealing with human. Workers are human, customers are human, entrepreneurs are human, and the stakeholders are human. So these kind of things definitely is happening. It is happening in software industry at a much larger scale. But at workforce level, it is, yes, it is there. But second thing, 10 to 15% attrition, and if you take 10 to 15% new people at entry level or mid level or whatever in workforce, you are, I will consider that as healthy. But yes, if your attrition rate is more than 30-35%, something is warranted. I know one biscuit factory in GD Matra who did not increase the salary of the workers who were there or who he wanted to employ. Ultimately, he could not retain them, and regularly came into a problem. Ultimately, he has to close down, restart, close down, restart. Still, he is not stable. See, you will have to pay them right wages, in time wages. You should give them benefit of ESI, PF, which are mandatory. You should think of wherever possible to give a bonus so that the retentivity is increased. See, coaching, you should not be afraid. Healthy coaching, you can also, see, I would not suggest, I would not recommend coaching, but accept 10 to 15% attrition as a healthy sign, not that it is a bad sign. Next, please.
Another question is, what are government schemes for reskilling and upskilling for MSMEs?
as I suggested, go to DCM MSME site. Uh, See, government is encouraging apprenticeship uh, from ITIs, diploma holders, engineers. That is for an entry level, and skilling, digital technology adoption. Many things government is announcing, and maybe some may be part of that scheme. That is zero effect, zero defect. That scheme, which was launched about 4-5 years back, has been modified to make more user friendly. So you can always look into that and take steps accordingly. There are many good schemes. Next, please.
Sir, there is message from Nigeria. Interesting session. Would love to have the PPT. He has requested.
So ask them to please send your email address, and we'll send you the PPT.
Another question from Mr. Shiva Prasad. Most of the soft skill you are mentioning are individual attributes built in my nature and nature. How can I change my nature attributes?
Sir, ultimately we have got crores of brain cells, and it is your determination, maybe situational wise or maybe your ambitious wise. Many things can be changed. See, many things like half glass full or half glass empty. When somebody with a negative mindset said that half glass empty, somebody with a positive mindset will say half glass full. So it depends, and then you can cultivate by reading good books. Recently, my son visited us, and he said there is a new university which has come up in the world. It is known as YouTube University. So on whatever subjects you want to learn, upgrade, or rethink, get a catalyst to think, all that is available, and you can go through that. See, yes, sometimes when you become aged and you stop thinking that I don't want to learn, maybe if you are 70s and 80s, probably you have come to the end of your inning. But when you go to KFC kind of thing, KFC was started when that entrepreneur was in 60s or 65, and today where KFC is. So it is not that you cannot change. It is a determination of yours which will make you to understand and realign along with your priorities. Thank you. Next, please.
Another question is, in reality, the attributes are not skills, but my innate emotional status, and few are with my unknown reasons, like some fear are unlogical and unreasonable, but those are real. Even though at cognitive level, I know the fear, but they are emotional. How to face it?
Very interesting question. See, I think from soft skill and hard skill, we are going to behavioral science, where I may not be a good expert. But yes, see, recently Rahul Bajaj, chairman of Bajaj Auto, died. I had an occasion to meet him and hear him. He said, question the unquestioned. See, he said that question the unquestioned. Now, what you are talking about, fear and all that, you have never questioned, you have never challenged yourself, and you just made a cell. That I cannot do it. If you try and fail, nothing wrong. But if you don't try, you are always in fear of failure. That mentality should be changed, and it can be changed. You should surround yourself with people who give you positive energy, positive thought processes. That will help you to come out. You can do yoga sort of thing, or if you're little higher level, if you want to go, read good books like your spiritual books. And reading books is not like a novel. Each sentence you try to correlate with yourself so that you get some new questions and new thinking to develop. I hope a very complete question I have answered in whatever little knowledge I have got.
Sir, another question is why MSME is not recruiting local talent because of hard skill or soft skill?
See, if you are talking about only Telangana or if you are talking about India or world, see, migrant labor has got a positive attitude because they have come in search of better life, better living standard. So they have left and come. So the one who has not been, ready to move their village or something, they are not. The one which has come out are more dynamic in nature. So it is up to you. There is nothing wrong with local labor selecting, though many governments like Haryana, AP, they are trying to put 25% of local employment, which ethically I think may not be right. And that gives us probably a kind of job security to locals. But if they are not capable or they are not ready to align themselves with the job requirement, they will pull down the MSME unit. So the entrepreneur has to take a judicious decision whether he needs a body or he needs an intelligence or body with intelligence or hard skill or soft skill. That he should be very clear in his mind while he wants to select. I hope very complicated questions are coming.
Another question is, are MSME as an association address the issue of skill gap collaboratively, and is MSME appreciate importance of skill or recruit workers and assume they will be trained on the job?
Any MSME association who are dynamic, more particularly I am from SME India or MSME Forum of India, they are dynamic in approach and they are wanting to help MSME entrepreneurs to think differently. But many MSME entrepreneurs are always sandwiched between day-to-day priorities and a growth. So sometimes they are able to take little steps and then they stop it. So many associations are helping, more particularly the national. Many are helping and they are trying to get good speakers so that they can become a catalyst in the thinking process. It is for the entrepreneur to pursue further. And that is what exactly I'm saying. You see, if our MSME entrepreneurs of about 6.35 crore entrepreneurs are there in India, if 5% can start changing, it will create 3 to 4 crore low skill jobs in 2 or 3 years time, which will contribute 1.5% to India's GDP at today's GDP of $3 trillion. Our Prime Minister and our nation's aspiration is to reach 5 trillion and 8 trillion. Because of COVID, we have deferred little bit, but this can be covered back. So, question is how serious entrepreneur himself is and how much resources he is able to. I'm not talking about money. I'm also talking about his commitment to the new process which he is starting in his unit. Many times with the dynamics of that chair, he misses that target. But if we keep overall that compressed or continuous focus on that, one day that results, one day very fast, those results will come out. Next, please.
Sir, another question from Dajang of Nigeria. He writes, we really need to have good soft skill to be able to enjoy our workspace. Question is, what do employees look out for more in employment? Hard skill or soft skill, or do they look out for both?
See, if you are a 2-3 workers organization, definitely hard skills are more critical. But when you go to 5, 10 and this thing, above, hard skill and soft skill balance is necessary. And if you touch about 25, 30 or 40 and above, then many kind of soft skills will become critical, because there in a manufacturing company, 10 to 15% job will be physical to move from one workstation to another workstation. So there, communication, team working, all that will be very important. I recently read a book known as Goal, and that Goal book I will recommend every MSME entrepreneur to read. It's a very nice book. Maybe published about 15 years back. I'll recommend everybody to read that book. Next, please. What is the time?
Another question is, impulse is a good initiative, but how it will impact my business indicators, and what is the timeline to see first sign of result?
Thank you. Impulse, that is employees' pulse, is a well thought about 1.5 years labor has gone in, and we have the first unit, the data for a 40 years experience entrepreneur has come out, which has opened his eyes and wide open his eyes, and that all this information I did not have when he is sitting in front of his workers every day. So this whatever we have taken is a bird's eye view, and we are able to analyze those data without sentimental involvement. So we will be able to look at data in a more useful way, and with our combined experience of about all co-founders put together about 150 to 200 years, definitely we will be able to give this thing. But this is the first time the effort has been made, and unless until there is a referral which will come in next 3 months, when we go and visit next, we will be able to suggest the incremental change required to be executed. If you are asking me cost benefit analysis, 5% reduction is a numerical figure, but a change in culture, change in workers' attitude to give more ideas, their belongingness to the factory, their rate of attrition will go down definitely, because everybody, yes, at certain stage, money is becoming critical, but when a balance is there between money, aspiration and growth, that company will grow, and company and employer should also look after their workers, compensating not only by monetary but wherever possible non-monetary benefits can be given, like awarding the best worker of the month. They can take them to a picnic once in a this thing. So where you can increase your bonding and openness, so that anybody can come and discuss their ideas, their suggestions, their this will definitely increase interpersonal relation between workers, management, everybody. And this is, I have done it in my factory for 15 years. And I always was in need of more workers because I was growing. So this is my personal observation.
Sir, yes, sir. Another two more questions, sir. Is MSME required specialist trainers and counselors support to address soft skill areas?
Huh? Come again.
Is MSME required specialist trainers and counselors support to address soft skill areas?
Yes, according to me, the return on investment will be tremendously high. Yes, they require, but it should not be one-time exercise. They can do 1 hour or 2 hours in a week or a fortnight, but it should go for 1 year or so that the measurable change can come. Otherwise, it will become like, you hear something and forget. That should not be there. Last question.
Another question, sir. For soft skill development of entrepreneur himself, what actions required?
चले जा, फिर उधर से फोन कर. Come again, please.
For soft skill development of entrepreneur himself, what actions required?
Yes, very interesting question. We are talking about workers. Employer also has to go through the soft skill training, and he is the first person from where his workforce will also learn lot of things. So employer must go for soft skill training, maybe in small installment in 6 months or so, but he should write down the changes happened in him and what is the incremental change he wants. If he does not write down, it will not help him. He will again forget when he comes back to his chair where the firefighting he has to do regularly. So this has to be done very peacefully. Constant effort is required for entrepreneur to change, and that has to be emulated by their workforce.
Sir, Mr. Hanmantlu, sir, very good presentation. Desai, sir. Another Nauzad Hassan to everyone. Thanks a lot for the good presentation. And the Jung, beautiful session. Glad I attended. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending our seminar.
Thank you, Hanumantu sir. As well, you are encouraging me in my efforts. I also need your lot of support for my impulse, which I would like to come and discuss with our head consulting service, HR consulting service, probably next week. Thank you, Hanumantu sir.
Over, sir. With these questions are over, and some of them have asked for the PPT also, sir. Thank you.
Please send them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.